Well, hello everybody. How we doing? It's a Tuesday evening, and I'm showing 8 o'clock. Well, maybe just turned 8:01, I guess. So, Crystal was out running around someplace. I don't know. She had to hitch a ride. Did one of these thumbing things on the side of the street, I guess, to get home. I'm not sure what she did. But anyway, she's home. She is connected.
I thought she was going to be in the office.
Well, no, she's at home.
That's not what she said earlier.
That's not what she said earlier. Okay. Well, before I bring her out, though, as you probably all know, that we make some swag for channels and stuff like that, and we do make some personalized things for people, whatever they might want. So here's a whole outfit that nephew,
Great nephews
great nephews,
just born in end of August.
just born in August. So we have we made these. So, and actually, there's two of them.
Well, they're twins.
They're twins. So, anyway, we just kind of wanted to show those off. That's our own design. Anything else? They're in California. We may or may not ever see them. I don't know.
Exactly.
So, anyway,
And their parents get Hanukkah guilt.
yeah, and their parents get Hanukkah guilt. So, when's Hanukkah start?
Thursday, tomorrow night's the first candle.
Tomorrow night is the first candle for Hanukkah. So, I have to ask when Santa's coming down the chimney. So, I'm good with that.
That means I get a gift every night, Daryl.
Uh-oh. I better get to the store.
We're going there tomorrow.
All right. So anyway, I have over here in the other room Crystal Groves, who runs the YouTube channel Copper Kettle Farms, and is a website entrepreneur.
She's a computer nerd.
She's a computer nerd. She posts these funny pictures on Facebook, so I can steal them and put them on our thumbnails for the shows. And she is going to share with you some online tools that people can use to create banners, do their thumbnails, make your logos, and you don't even have to have a computer. And because they're online, if you do have a computer, it doesn't matter what kind it is. So if you're running Linux or anything else like that, if you can connect to the internet, you can go and utilize these tools. And a lot of them, for a very, very big part of it, are totally 100% free. And so that's what she's gonna show and teach you and answer any questions you might have. I'm pretty much just going to jump off to the side here. I'll pull myself off to the corner of the screen, and we'll let her just run the show here. So, Crystal, you are on the screen. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. Always happy to be here on Two Family. I see you on the side there. Can you hear me?
I think they can probably hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, good. So one of the things that I like to talk about when I come on and do the guest presentations is Canva, because it is it's not new, but it's a newer system when you compare to like Photoshop or something that lets you create all kinds of cool graphics, and it's browser based and you can use it on your phone. I may actually join the Zoom meeting from my phone as well and do a share screen from there. If Daryl's wanting me to do that, it's going to obviously be my phone screen, so it's not going to be as large, but I can certainly do that.
Hey, it's your show. Whatever you'd like to do here.
I think you say it's my show, but it's not really. Well, one thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and show my desktop screen, because what I like to do with this is I log in and use a free account. I have a paid account for Canva, which does give you a lot of extra goodies, but I like to show these demonstrations in the free account just to show the capabilities of things. So I don't know if you want to make me a co-host, and then I can show you the.
You should be able to go with it.
All right.
I
Let's
thought I
see.
reset all that.
Oh, it looks like you did. So let me go ahead and open up Canva.
I decided to get nerdy here a little while ago.
You nerdy? What? Doesn't make any sense. So this is Canva. I'm going to have a block that kind of hovers around here just because it's my screen, but this is what you would see when you log in with a free account. And you can try it for free for 30 days. So if you have something that you really want to do for a project, whether it's a thumbnail or you can use this for certain video features, then sign up for 30 days and then, go back to the freeware version. It should still be useful. And also have the comments up on my TV so I can kind of pay attention to that while we're doing this. So if you do have questions, definitely ask. One of the things we have covered it in the past is we did a brief logo design in Canva, and we've done social media graphics to share on your social media pages when you put out a new video. We've done the best Wookie in town. We did a thumbnail demonstration with Canva. We did the end screen, I think was the last one we did, but I think we kind of combined that presentation with also making a banner. So we've kind of covered the basics with what homesteaders, I guess, would find useful. But what I want to do is also show some of the new features that Canva came out with that might be useful for all of these. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to create a design. Again, this is the freeware version. So everything I'm doing tonight, you will be able to do for free. And I'm going to start with an Instagram post because what I like about the Instagram sizes is Facebook isn't exactly square like Instagram. Facebook has a different measurement, but the Instagram posts have to be square. So whatever you do to post on Instagram will have to format into this square box. But Facebook, you can share an Instagram post on Facebook and it doesn't try to change the dimensions. So I usually just start out with Instagram right out of the bat if I'm doing a social media post. And I see that we're talking about cheesecake again. So let me look for a photo of cheesecake because that's important. I do want to highlight again that because I'm on the freeware version, you're going to see this little crown icon on some of these photos. That means you do have to use the pro version to use it. But there are obviously some free versions. And there's a photo of cheesecake.
Crystal?
Yes.
Bushcraft Family is asking, do they watermark your images on the free version?
No, because the photos that you're using are free if you're using the free photos. If you try to use a pro version, and I'll show you an example of this. I'm going to create another page below here. If I try to use this pro version of this cheesecake, it will have a watermark, but it won't let you download it with the watermark, I don't believe. What it's going to try to do is make you pay for it. See, when I try to download, oh, here you go. You can download a free watermarked draft. So you can download a draft with watermarks, but in order to download it without it, you would have to pay for that image. And you can pay for a one-off image if you want to. I mean, $1 is not a big deal, but honestly, most people, I mean, you can find other free photos that you don't have to pay for. But if you really fell in love with it, you could just buy that one photo if you really wanted.
Okay, and where to begin homestead? No, this is not how everyone does their thumbnail pictures. This is just another way for people to choose how to do them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use other, like I have Photoshop. I have the paid version of Photoshop. It's a big program and it's really a resource hog. And the same with like DaVinci Resolve. A lot of these programs that you either have to pay for or, I mean, DaVinci has a freeware version, but they eat so much of your computer resources that to me, it's worth it to try Canva out because it's simply browser based. So you're not using anything on your computer except your browser, whether it's Microsoft Edge or Chrome or Firefox. You're not eating up your computer space in order to run it. So that's the benefit of this. And it's really fast. There's no like lag, excuse me, that I've seen. So that's the other benefit. So let's say we were creating a social media graphic with some kind of photo. We wanted to promote a video that just came out or something. We've talked about some of the new effects that you can do with text, but I want to show you some new stuff that recently came out that wasn't in the last video. So you have all these options here on the left. Obviously, you have some pre-made templates you can use, even if you just want to start out with a template and then modify it to suit whatever it is that you're trying to promote, whether it's your video, your business, pretty much. Even if you just want to like have a birthday post go out or something. I mean, they have pre-made templates you can start with and then modify, which is great. But if you wanted to start with a blank slate, then you have the options to upload your own photos. You can see some photos that I've uploaded with different tutorials that we've done. You can also upload videos and audio. Like audio is a new feature. So if you have like a background music piece you want to add to your video or your intro screen or something, you can do that with Canva now. That's a new feature. I uploaded a video for a demo purpose. So you can have all these stored on your account, which is nice. So you can reuse them. You have a photo library of photos that you can use to add to your social media posts or your channel banners or whatever. And then you have elements. Elements are basically like different types of graphics or styles that you want to add to your whatever you're trying to create. So if you wanted to add a play button, this little play button here is free. And it gives you the option to change the color. Like for me, it would be bright blues because I do a lot of bright blue with our channel. So if I wanted to add a play button here, I could. If I go back to elements, any kind of arrows, if you want to point to like a subscribe button, you can certainly do that and change the color of it. You have your little color option here and a couple little things like if you wanted to flip it, if you wanted to have the arrow go the other way. You have all kinds of different options to tweak things. And what I also like about it is if you do something, you're not familiar with technology, you're not comfortable with technology, you can go and undo a change that you've made. So let's say I didn't like this arrow, but I'm not quite sure how to get it back to the original state that I had it in. There is an undo button here. So you can go back, you know, if you mess up. So don't worry about messing things up. You also have all kinds of shapes and things that you can do, which I like. So you have either just squares that you want to add to different sections of the page. You can add, let's say you wanted to do a photo, but you kind of wanted it to be in a new frame. They've added all kinds of new frames to stuff. Let me see if I can find one of these new ones. I kind of dig the whole old-timey film look. So if you wanted to have, you know, a photo in the middle of this frame like this, maybe have this be the entire piece of your graphic and then drag over a photo like this cheesecake, you could certainly do that. Now it's going to cut off to fit into that space, whatever photo you drag here. But what I like about it is if you double click it, you can kind of drag it to where you want it to actually show. Maybe I want it to show the whole piece. And then that's now fitting in that frame. So you get a lot of flexibility there too. I like how where to begin says, yeah, I mess up a lot. I do too. I do a lot of Control X, Control Z, undoing all of my stuff. So, but another thing I wanted to show is the text edits. There's some new features that they've added to text. So let's say, let's just do Copper Kettle Farms. Maybe I wanted to make a graphic about Copper Kettle Farms, but I wanted to add some effects to it. One of the big complaints I've always had about Canva is you never had the ability to do curved text. They've recently added that functionality here at the bottom. So what it does is by default, it curves it. I guess this is like 69, I'm trying to think it was like a ratio or whatever, degrees. And you can adjust it to be up or down, however much of a circle you want it to be, or almost a complete circle, like 100%, which I like. And the other way as well. So now you have the ability to do curved text in Canva, which, you know, this was a big complaint for a long time for a lot of people. So you get yourself maybe a circle image. Let me find a quick circle of some sort. And let's say you want this text to be, we'll go back to effects and maybe I'll see if I can get it to wrap a little bit more. Maybe I want it to be exactly on the circle. I know that's a style that a lot of people have done. and have the text be a different color. Now let's say you have, they have the ability to have layers as well. So let's say you do this and you put your circle in, but see how it's cut off the bottoms of my peas here? So what I can do is select that layer. You can see how it's outlining the different layers as I hover over it. So I take my select and go over for the text layer, and then I change the position. Position could be forward so that it's on top of the layer beneath of it. It could go backwards so it's behind the layer that's that I just put in there. But you have the ability to change that around. I kind of want my text to be almost right on the circle here. So I'm going to kind of adjust this a little bit. It may not be able to wrap around it perfectly, but those peas really make things weird. So actually what I might do with these peas is I might position everything in the back. There we go. So Copper Kettle Farms, wrapped around a circle. I don't know what I would put in the circle. You could certainly put an image. I could change it to a frame and then just drag a photo to it, like a picture of Donald. I think I have a picture of Donald uploaded here, sort of. Now let's say you have a graphic, like this was an old thumbnail that I did for one of our videos this May. And maybe I lost this picture of Donald. What I can do, and it's a little bit of a hack, is I know I have the thumbnail. I no longer have this goofy picture of my husband, but I can drag this photo in the frame that I created. You can kind of see it cuts out a little bit of everything to fit into that frame. But what I can do is double click in here and kind of stretch everything. You can kind of see the outline here of what's going to show in the circle. And I just kind of move it so I don't see this weird black border I put around the original image. It looks like everything in here is Donald. My husband's so goofy. And then now you can still use that photo. I've had to do this a couple times with my clients where they'll send me a photo that's got a bunch of other stuff on it and I don't like it. So I'll just drag and drop it in a frame so I can get rid of the extra stuff. Kilted Gardener asks, can you make a logo in Canva and it be your trademark or copyrighted logo? Yes. Actually, the logo for Copper Kettle Farms, which you can see on the top here, whoops, I drug it back in there. I didn't mean to do that. Put up here. This logo was all made with Canva. And I made it so big that it's such a high resolution. I can use it anywhere now. I actually use it on our channel as like a little subscribe button on the right, but also I kind of watermark our videos with it. So you can create it in here pretty easily. I think I showed in one of our tutorials how I did the logo, because I don't know if you guys noticed, the outline of the logo is actually the state of Pennsylvania where we're located. I found that graphic on Canva. I didn't create that because I wasn't going to go through and try to figure out where the state lines actually were. But you can find like a piece of art that covers a lot of that for you. The chicken and the goat were all Canva graphics. Even this ribbon at the top, that was an element. Let me do a search for ribbon. I don't know if I can find the exact one because it's been a while. But see how these different kinds of ribbons that you can use? This one's kind of similar. But I like the ribbons because it kind of gives it, there it is. I think that's the exact one. So here's the exact ribbon I used at the top. Now, see, it says remove watermarks. It's not a free ribbon, but again, when I created the logo, I was using my pro account.
Crystal?
But if I did want to pay for it, let's see.
Crystal?
It's $1. Yeah.
Very quickly, Rural Rambler is asking, do they have an iOS app for this? I think they do. I think they have one for iOS and Android as well.
I think they do too. I don't actually have an iPhone. I use Android. But a lot of that is because I'm also like a Google partner and a Google nerd. So everything I do is pretty much connected
Rural
to
Rambler,
Google.
I'll check on that. We'll put it in the chat for you.
Pretty sure it does though. So effects, yes. Curve is a new one they have. You also got the ability, one of the big things that was a complaint for a long time is shadow text, having a background to it. It's had that for a while now. I talked about that before, but you do have the ability to put background on text, especially if you have like an overly complicated photo. Like if I were to move this forward, there's a lot going on in the background. If I were to take that effect off, it would be harder to read. especially on Donald's white shirt. But if you were to add some kind of background to the text, like I usually do black and then make the transparency either slightly off, it's a lot easier to read. So that's one thing to consider too when you're using Canva, is putting some kind of border or background on your text as well. I want to redo my logo. I paid for a logo though. Yeah. So it's very easy to do logos in here. We can almost try to recreate the Copper Kettle Farms logo just as a sample. Let me see if I can do at least some of it real quick. So I'm going to look under elements for Pennsylvania. So this is the graphic I used for the background of our logo. It's kind of tilted because I think technically the state of Pennsylvania is tilted. So you do have the ability to grab it and kind of, I wanted it to be straight for the purpose of our logo. Kind of drag it till it's about as straight as you want it. Now, again, this was a paid graphic, so I had to pay to download it, but you know, it was $1. It was worth it for me to not have to trace the outline of Pennsylvania. And then that ribbon I was talking about, what I like also about Canva is whatever you've recently used, it saves in your recently used location here. So that ribbon that I was talking about earlier, I can just find it real quick. So
Crystal, you could have elected, though, just to get an outline of Pennsylvania elsewhere and upload it.
I could have. What I did, though, is I don't know, for some reason, I really liked this one. I mean, you saw they had a couple others, but they were kind of blocky. I didn't really like them. You could certainly have someone make one. You could see if there's some kind of SVG file somewhere. Like this one was okay. I really wanted something that was a little softer. Like this one was kind of, I don't know. It looked like a big magic marker to me. And you see, none of them are really fully accurate anyway. Like, what is that? That doesn't look, especially over here. What's going on with Ohio there, Daryl? You guys trying to
that's the river.
get on our territory.
That's the river.
Right?
That's the Ohio River over there.
So I'm using this as a guide just to kind of go through what I was doing when I created our logo. So I wanted a ribbon at the top because I wanted our particular logo to kind of highlight what we do as a farm. And one of the best ways I figured I could do that was to highlight all of the different animals that we have. I put a little heart at the bottom where Gettysburg's actually located in Pennsylvania. So I've got my ribbon, I've got my state. Let's see, I guess I need a goat. Let's look up some goats. So you got all kinds of different clipware of goats that you can add. You can also add a photo if you want, but then you have to kind of cut out the background of the photo. So the goat, I don't know if it was this goat. There's all kinds of goats. It might be this goat. I think it's this goat. So this is a goat that I would add in the ribbon. Now, because the ribbon's curved, what I also did was I kind of grabbed, you see these little arrow things that let you rotate things? I kind of moved the goat so it kind of went with the curve of the ribbon. And you can use your arrow keys to move, see how it's moving very slightly, to move just little bits if you needed just to move a little bit. We have to find a chicken. So I'm going to search for chicken clip art and find that cool little rooster. It looks like this guy here. So I'm going to grab my little rooster and drag him in my little ribbon because we have a lot of chickens, about 60 for anybody that was curious. I got 6 goats. And then we have a plant because obviously we plant stuff. I don't know if I searched for plant when I did that, or the other issue is in Canva, you're going to find a lot of things in here that have color, which is great. I love that some of these have color, but if I'm doing a logo, for this, I just kind of wanted something that didn't have a lot of color to mix with my, my logo colors. So I guess I'm going to have to just pick one and see if I can make it white because I don't remember what it was called when I originally did this. Like this could work, technically. So I want to put a little plant in here, in my little ribbon. And eventually I did update our logo, and it's not shown here, but to include rabbits because we also raise meat rabbits, and then microbes because Donald's big thing as a wastewater operator is, microbes and the science behind soil building. So Crystal, need to add one of these to her logo. Oh, a cheesecake. Let's look up a cheesecake. If they got, oh, look, they do. He is right. I need to add a cheesecake to our logo. So we'll just pick one of these. This one looks good. We'll move this stuff over a little bit so I can add this cheesecake in here. I'm going to rotate this plant a little bit too to go with the curve of the ribbon. And then we got a cheesecake. Now this is just for fun. I wouldn't actually put this in my logo, but so now we got a little cheesecake. So there's my ribbon. I might rearrange things a little bit so they look a little better, but if we're just kind of following the guidelines for what we have here. So next is obviously putting in some text. So you have the ability to add just generic text. They have headings, subheadings. It doesn't matter if you choose a heading or subheading when you do this because you're going to change the font and the size and the color anyway. I usually just go with heading and then I manipulate it from there. I'm going to drag it kind of to the center here. You'll notice the little pink lines when I'm dragging stuff around. That allows me to align things perfectly in center with either the whole document itself or the elements on the page. When it's a solid line, like you see the one that goes vertically, that means it's aligned perfectly in the center with the whole document. But the dotted lines horizontally means I'm perfectly aligned horizontally with the Pennsylvania state element. So if I were to drag this down to the center of the document, you'll see now it's in the complete bullseye center of the whole document because both lines are solid. But I don't want it to be down there because my graphic's up here. So I'm going to kind of center it here. Now the font I used in our logo is a custom font that I had to upload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little smaller. I want to show that you guys can upload fonts. We just can't do it in the freeware version. So because I use this for business, I have a ton of fonts that I uploaded. They do have some really good fonts that you don't need to mess with, like uploading your own. Let me try to think of one. This one might just temporarily be a good for this demonstration. So I'm just going to use one of their default fonts and make it all capitalized. I'm going to drag it to make it a little bigger and then center that in the middle. Now it says this, like I could make the state white. I'm going to leave it blue for now just so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to add a subheading underneath. Our logo says living sustainably. Oops. On the Mason-Dixon. Again, I think that might be a font that I uploaded, but it is kind of scripty. So you can actually type in the top here the type of font. If you're familiar with words in regards to fonts like Open Sans, sans serif, or something like that. For this one, I'm just going to type calligraphy. And it's going to give me all the fonts that are like a script or a calligraphy. So I can kind of narrow down my choices without having to. Let's do that one. Living sustainably on the Mason-Dixon. So there I've got my little subheader here. I need to add my heart, which was a Canva element. And that's basically, it's this heart here. I remember I've used this one a lot for different things. But I wanted to make it small and be pretty much where Gettysburg is in location to Pennsylvania. We're kind of in the south central, but slightly to the right. So right about here is where Gettysburg is. So I got my heart in here. I just need to add the Gettysburg and the lines at the top. So one of the elements that it does have is a lines section. So you can have arrows, you can have something that looks drawn. I kind of like the drawn look because it looks a little bit more rustic, but I think for our logo, because it was already pretty busy, I just went with a plain straight line. So it might have just been something like this. We'll make it black for this purpose. So I think once I have it to the size that I want, I'm going to do my text next before I do the right side. So I know I want them to be exactly the same width. Once you have the size you want, you can actually duplicate a layer. So I could duplicate a line, I could duplicate a set of text. That way I'm not trying to recreate it and match the width that I had already set up. So real quick, I'm going to add my Gettysburg text in here.
There is a question out here, Crystal.
Sure.
If I create on the Canva website, will it save to the app also?
Yes, it does save to the app. The only issue, and you can actually edit in the app too, which I like. The only issue that I found with the app is that when you have something that's multiple pages, like this is just 2 pages right now. Well, no, it's 3 pages now. Page 1, page 2, page 3. When you download, let's say you only wanted page 3 and you download the items, it downloads all 3. That's the only issue I have with the app. And then it's hard to create new pages. If you have multiple pages, it basically copies the template of the previous page. So if I was on page 3 and I wanted to create a new document, like a page 4, it would automatically copy everything here, which is kind of a pain. So there's a little bit of things that you just have to get used to on the phone app. But yes, you can edit and you can download. I've done some quick social media graphics on the fly with Canva on the road. So, but everything you do here, you could technically do on the phone. It's just not as easy. Like I prefer doing everything if I'm designing something on my computer, and then if I know I'm just going to do brief edits, I can edit on my phone and download it and then upload it to Facebook or YouTube or whatever. So, all right, I'm going to change the background of the whole document real quick to black, or maybe like a gray, because I'm going to change the state color to white real quick just to kind of match what I'm doing here. And then this Gettysburg. Now, another cool thing about Canva, and I think I've highlighted this before, but I'm going to mention it again. When you add a photo, like I have this thumbnail here from an old video that Donald and I did. If you need to, let's say I want this color, but I don't know what this exact color is. Instead of having to try to find the hex code, Canva will take a lot of the photos in the graphics that you're working on and pull the colors automatically. So it's pulled that blue. It's also pulled some grays and some blacks and some, that might be the color of Donald's shirt, which is not quite white, but I think it pulled the color of this tarp here. You can see this gray. So it pulls all the major colors, which is convenient because then I don't have to try to figure it out. So if I want to get this blue to match the Gettysburg text, which actually this font's a little not, yeah, let's do that one. I'm not going to match my logo exactly, but you'll kind of get a feel for it. So I got my Gettysburg in here. I've got my line. I'm going to duplicate that line and drag it over to the right side. Now, one thing I did want to point out, as I'm dragging, you can kind of see that it has it so that it's got 3 lines, the top side of my graphic, the bottom side of my graphic, and then there's a line straight through the middle. That line straight through the middle means that I have centered this graphic to be exactly centered with the other side over here. So it's perfectly in sync with that graphic over on the left. So I don't have to worry about it. If I moved it up, it's no longer going to have that middle line because it's not centered. But if I get it just in there, there we go. So now they are perfectly lined up on either side. I just have to make sure my Gettysburg text is centered in between the 2 lines. So, I mean, it's kind of a not exact version of my logo because I don't have the fonts uploaded, but I mean, right now we've recreated the Gettysburg or the Copper Kettle Farms logo. So, I mean, it's definitely got some flexibility there.
If you wanted to color the cheesecake all black, could you do it?
For this one, no. There are some clip art pieces that don't let you color, but I bet you there are some cheesecakes. And the way that you know is when you click on it, whether it has a color icon here on the options. So if I were to click, let's say, see, that one doesn't allow it. Some of these are very artistic, so they might not, but I know there's going to be one that does. Even if I just did like this one, see how that color box popped up? If I wanted it to make it like a blue cheesecake and put that up there, whoops. Now I got to try to select it. It's hidden. So when you have layers on top of each other and you can't get to it, just take one and make it go backwards. There we go. So now I can click on it. Let me get rid of this old cheesecake. I guess it would make sense if it was black, huh? So we'll change it back to black. So I can find ones that allow you to do color options, but if they're overly complicated, like this one looks like a piece of art, it's not going to let you be able to edit the colors on that one. But ones that look kind of plain, Like this one, no. This one will. This one will let you change 2 colors. It lets you change the inside and the outline. So if I wanted the outline to be blue and maybe the inside to be black, so you have that capability. So there are some pieces of art that will allow it, but again, it depends on if when you click on it, it shows color changing capabilities at the top there.
Now-
That makes sense.
Now, if that were your picture that you uploaded, does Canva give you the ability to edit your pictures?
No, it has the ability to do some filters, and I'll show you down here. I'm going to drag Donald down here because he needs his own area here. So let's say this was a photo, and actually I'm going to go ahead and drag it full screen so only Donald shows. That way I don't see all this other stuff. You guys can kind of see the filtering I'm talking about. So you do have the ability to add effects to photos. If you go under effects, one of the coolest things I use the most, it does have a background remover. Actually, let me go ahead and see what it does. I don't know how much, let me delete Donald and re-add him, how much it would catch on this graphic. So let's find out. We're going to experiment here. So if you have a image that has a background to it, try the background remover. Oh, that's right. You got to do it for the Pro one. I keep forgetting that one's Pro. You do have the ability to remove backgrounds. I'm going to see actually if it'll let me just go ahead. Nope, I'll have to put in a credit card, so we're not going to do that right now. It will pull backgrounds off of photos for you. But otherwise, you do have the ability to do, either some pixelating if you want. You have the ability to add filters, which is what I use a lot as well. If you need something to be black and white, if you need something to look a little bit more retro, like from the 70s, if you want something to look a little bit more like, to selfie Donald's beard here or something, maybe a little bit more bright, and you can change the intensity of how bright that is. So that's kind of cool. So it does give you some photo effects that you can play with. You also have the ability to change your, different brightness, contrast, saturation features if you just want it to be not as bright. So you have the ability to do your own adjustments to photos. Obviously, you have the ability to crop things. So if I wanted to crop this photo to get rid of some of this other stuff, I certainly could. If you need to flip it, you can do that. And I think that's about it for photo capabilities. Now, you do have the ability to add animations to things. So let's say you were doing, let's say if I was using this logo as a piece of a social media post where I wanted to talk about live on Two Family Homestead. We'll change that to be blue. And, this isn't a post I would do a little bit more to this post, but let's say this is something I wanted to share on social media to promote tonight's live stream. I can make this a little bit animated straight from Canva. It has this animate function. Once you're not editing any of these features and you're out of all the editors, you can now animate the piece into like a GIF or something like that. Now you'll see there are some that have the Crown Pro feature. You have to have a Pro account to do this, but there are a couple like Rise I use a lot. Tumble, if you wanted it to tumble in real quick. Pan means that it just comes in from the left. Maybe like a fade. Or this one, actually I would probably use this one for this. So I can download this as an animated GIF and post that on social media. It gives it a little bit of that extra oomph to make people notice it if they're scrolling on their phone. Because when people are scrolling on their phone, videos and GIFs autoplay. So that's something to keep in mind as well. You can certainly add a little bit of animation to your social media graphics or wherever allows animation. I know YouTube thumbnails don't allow it. It would be kind of cool if they did, but I think that might get overly complicated. Do you have any videos on microphones? We are just, oh, okay. So they're asking you a question for that, Daryl. I'm going to show a little bit about video capabilities as well. So video, you do have the ability to do some video stuff in Canva, which I like. One of the things that you'll have noticed if you've ever watched an Copper Kettle Farms video, right now I start every video with an intro. I'm actually thinking about stopping that just to see if there's a difference in retention. But if you wanted to do an intro video for your channel, I've actually done them or created them in Canva before as well. And I'll show you a sample of what I'm talking about.
Okay, let me jump.
So-
Let me jump in for just a second here.
Sure.
Carpenter's self-reliance. I don't believe I have any specific videos on microphones. We've talked about them in some general terms. But if you have any specific questions, feel free to send me an email. I'll get back with you, and we can discuss it. Perhaps offline at length if you'd like, or we can just kind of go from there. Okay.
Awesome.
Back to you.
Back to me. So one of the things I wanted to show, I'm actually going to resize this if it'll let me. Nope, I have to do that by the Pro. So in Pro, if you guys decided to do it, you can resize this into any typical format, whether it's a video thumbnail or a Facebook cover photo or something. Since you don't have the ability in the freeware version, all you have to do is go back to the Canva home screen and then type in what you want to create. So let's say I wanted to create, actually, let's do YouTube. Whoops. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a second. As soon as the Zoom screen gets out of my way. So let's create a YouTube thumbnail. See how it's got the option here? It's got all these different YouTube options. It's automatically measured out for you already. So I'm going to choose YouTube thumbnail. So now I've got my perfect thumbnail ratio size.
And Nisi Tribe is asking if you use the phone app, and I don't know this because I've never done this with Canva, but if you use the phone app to create a banner on YouTube, do you pick the YouTube channel art as a template, or do you know?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you?
Well, they're wanting to make a banner, I think, for their channel. They have a phone.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have the app on their phone, where do they find the template to create a YouTube banner?
That is a good question. Do you want me to join with my phone real quick? Is that all right with you?
That's fine with me. Whatever you like to do here.
So I'm going to, you might have to give me, well, I don't know if it'll require you to give me hosting on my phone or not, but we'll try it out. Now it will be the Pro version on the phone, but it'll at least show you some options. All right, so it's asking to join.
You're joining.
Now I'm going to mute my phone so you're not hearing me twice. All right. So
Okay, I think you have it muted.
all right, let's see.
Maybe nope. It's still kicking back.
All right, well, that's probably not going to work then because I don't know why it's echoing. I kept muting it. So we might have to either like.
That's kind of the same issue that I had last night.
Okay. Well, maybe we could do a mobile only session at some point.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or I could just log off of this one and just do mobile. I'm fine with either.
Well, whatever you'd like to do. The question was simply there if they do this on their phone and they want to create a YouTube banner. I don't know where to tell them to go. I would. Let me ask you this: do they have a decent help or assist area in Canva that they could just type in a question like YouTube banner and it would take them to that? Or
I've heard good and bad about their customer service in regards to getting help. However, there are tons of groups out there of people that just love Canva and provide support. So I'm looking really quick through the options.
And I'm almost sure that Google would be able to tell you.
Yeah, so I'm looking through real quick, and it does let you kind of just choose the layout based off of what you want. I do see for YouTube, it gives you the option to, let's see. It gives you the option for Instagram posts, Twitter headers, YouTube thumbnails. It does do YouTube thumbnails, but it looks like it doesn't give you the default dimensions for a YouTube banner on the mobile. Yeah, I just scrolled through all of them. So what I would do is create it in desktop first, and then you can edit it on your phone. But I don't think you can start a YouTube banner on your phone, but you can do a thumbnail, if that makes sense.
Okay, now I'm gonna push you a step further here, simply because they may not have a desktop. If they did
Right.
not use the app and they used like the Google browser on their phone to access Canva, would that be a different story? I realize that's a lot of squeezing and expanding, but
That is a good question. Let me see if it looks like, I'm going to just log in real quick and try it out, but it looks like you do have the ability to do certain things in just the desktop or your phone browser. So let's see if it lets me, if I create a design and I do a search for YouTube. Yes, it looks like it does do YouTube channel art if you go to your browser and not the app. So
okay. And there may be a way through the app too. We're just not familiar with that.
yeah, and it could be, I mean, honestly, when a company develops an app to use their program, they have to figure out what limitations they need in the app in order for the app to run well. So while their browser may have all the full features, their app might not, because they just don't have the capabilities of doing all of that easily yet. So it could be something they add later on, but a lot of times a company like this, the app won't have as many features as the browser. So honestly, if you just use Google Chrome and use Canva, you get a lot more options than using the app. So that's another option as well. If you don't want to download the app, if it doesn't have, I know we talked about whether or not it has an Apple version, even if it doesn't, you can still get on it through the browser,
Through the browser,
Safari or Chrome or whatever.
Right, through the browser.
Right.
So does that answer your question? I guess I'm just got to throw that out there. Hopefully it does. So there is a way to do it. It may not be as pretty, may not be as
Yeah.
easy, but
So YouTube channel art is an option in the app. Is that okay to use for a banner? I think channel art is their banner option.
well, channel art is a all-inclusive term, as I understand it. The YouTube channel art includes banner, thumbnails, logo, all as a common core theme. The proper dimensions for a YouTube banner is actually 2,560 pixels by 1,440. And then, of course, what's actually displayed is much less than that, unless you're watching the YouTube channel on a television set. So,
Yeah, looking at their dimensions for what they consider YouTube channel art, it is the 2560 by 1440. So their definition of channel art is your banner.
okay.
But again, as Daryl says, that could be a generic term for a lot of different things. But in Canva's app, that is considered the channel banner. So when you go to a channel, like when we go to, I mean, I technically don't have, we'll just open up YouTube and I'll show you the one I have for Copper Kettle Farms. And we discussed this at one point as well, that if you look at what templates are available, it kind of gives you an outline, but this is what they consider channel art. And I did do this in Canva. It has our logo when we're live and our website and everything like that. So, but I like that it has a lot of photography that you can use if you do festive channel art every season like I do. That's one option that you can use Canva for as well. So you can create that template and then just change out the background to be Christmassy or Halloweeny or Thanksgiving. You know, like you were decorating your house, I guess, because your channel's kind of your house.
We have done a number of live streams on banners and creating banners using free tools, paid tools, and of course, Crystal has done that with Canva here as well. So
Yeah.
there's tons of resources here if you just dig and find it. If you have a specific question, I always like to use the term, what you need to do with the banners, you have to have it so it degrades well, because a single that single file that you upload as a banner, the first thing YouTube does is cut it into 3 pieces.
Yes. And I can actually show you guys real quick on my screen here. Let me go to, this is my pro version, my pro account. This is my, you can see I've used multiple banners for different, like this is, if I didn't have a holiday going on right now, this is what it would look like with just plain wood in the background. I save them because I can reuse them later, but you can see where I have a nice little background block here. I can save these and reuse them for each holiday or whatever, but it lets me know I need to keep my text within this block. I don't have to keep trying to refigure that out.
We're not seeing anything here.
Oh, you're not? Oh, I might be in the different screen here. So let me switch to my other screen. There we go. Yep. This is the screen I was talking about. So this is my pro account. This is the one that I pay for, but I mean, I keep all the different past banners for my channel on here so that I can reuse them. And I keep this little background here. Sorry about my cuckoo clock.
So folks, if you notice that whole entire thing, that's the entire banner. But if you are looking on a phone, you're just going to see this, the very center part of that.
Yeah, right around here. But it still looks good. Like on my TV, it'll show the whole thing. If people are like me, like I know Big Bear Hempstead watches on his TV. I watch a lot of channels on my TV. It's still pretty. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
And that's entirely what I mean about having your banner degrade well.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any other questions or things that they want me to show?
I'm not seeing anything, so just have back at it. We get a couple more questions going in here. I'll jump in and pull your reins back.
All right. So let me get back into the freeware version because the freeware version is awesome. So we've gone over logos, social media art, banners, end screens, and things like that. I did want to show videos because I think that especially people that, maybe they can't use a video editing software for like the intro or like creating intros. Like obviously you can edit your own content and stuff that you filmed, but as far as like creating an intro, it takes a little bit of like graphic design skills to do that. But what I like about Canva is you have the ability to do some brief stuff. I mean, it's not going to be the best stuff, but it's going to be pretty cool. So this is a YouTube thumbnail dimension because that's the same dimension of a video that plays. So that's what I start out with. They've got a couple different templates you can use here for one thing or the other. I'm going to use this template because I thought it looked kind of cool. It has like this Polaroid look. It's got a title and then it's got this background image. The background image I clicked on. So you can see it's got the outline blue that it's selected. I'm actually going to delete that because I don't want to use that photo. What I want to do is add a video to the background. Now, because it's almost winter, I might look for some snow videos and see if there's any that are free. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of free stuff. I can also upload my own video if I want, but I was hoping there'd be a free video I can use. Let's just search for free. Oh, it doesn't do actual free. It just searches for keywords free. So maybe I'll have to show you with a pro video real quick, but again, you can upload your own footage for this if you want. So I'm going to add some kind of wintry scene in the background of what's going to be my intro to my video. And it looks like it just goes through different scenes of like greenery and stuff like that, which is fine. Maybe in this block here, I want to have Donald's face because why not? So I'm going to drag that Donald graphic in here. And again, it's going to fit as much as possible in here. And all I have to do is double click that image and kind of stretch it out so that it's only Donald and not to the rest of this graphic. So I can see the outline of where he would show. So, sorry, I laugh at my husband. So there's Donald. And then this text here, maybe I want it to say whatever the video is about, like hot chocolate bombs. You can see it kind of cut off the E here. So I'm just going to take this box of text and stretch it to be a little wider so that E fits. Now it had this cool little, I don't know, it's like a paintbrush looking thing behind it, but it's black. Because my channel does a lot with teal, I'm just going to make it a little bigger and have it be big enough to have this text on top of it.
Okay,
And the issue.
Crystal, I'm sorry, we have another question out here.
Sure.
The question is, can you use all those graphics and things you make with Filmora editing? Where to begin, Homestead? You absolutely can, because you have the ability to upload whatever you want. So you can create anything in Filmora, save it, and then you could upload that to Canva and utilize it.
Yes.
So, yes, you can do that.
All right.
Back to you.
To me. So I have this text on here, but it's kind of like, it doesn't stick out well. So I'm not even sure I'm going to leave this paint thing, or maybe I'll do some other kind of paintbrush. But I guess alternatively, I could just add like a shadow behind the text to make it stand out a little more. Let's see if this, it's a little easier to read, but it's still kind of busy. I don't like busy, so I'm going to take that off real quick. Maybe I just won't have that at all. So let's say I wanted this to be my intro video before my video starts. This is what it's going to look like essentially. I'm going to hit play. So this is what's going to play before my video starts. If you wanted to do an intro video for your channel, this is what would happen. So you download this, upload it to add like you would your normal footage of whatever video you're creating. And it's a good way to create a quick intro. Now, if you have your own footage, obviously you can have that in the background. I didn't for this purpose, nothing that I could really use, but I do those seasonally too. If I wanted to do something that was just springy. Oh, here's a free video, so I can get rid of that watermark or whatever. So here's a nice little spring video. It would be semi-relevant for me. But this could be an intro video for it. And then you have a voiceover saying, you know, share, like, and subscribe to our channel, and then get into the hot chocolate bomb video itself. So this is a good way to create an intro video because it's just very easy to do. So I don't know if that would be helpful for anybody as well. I haven't had hot chocolate in forever. I need to use those bombs. Yes, I saw your bombs, Sherry. They looked awesome. So yeah, that's a quick intro video. We did the outro stuff before. I guess it might be helpful because we were doing like creating the outro layouts, like watch more, subscribe. I know that Doug and Stacy, they have like a video, and I think Justin Rhodes did at one point as well, where they had like a video saying, thank you for watching, like and subscribe. While they were doing the outro. So you could certainly do that with this as well. You might have to like reformat how this is laid out. But, you know, if I wanted to get rid of this text and instead put a video up here, let's grab a video of someone talking. I'm going to just do a search for person. We'll pretend this is me talking about how great my channel is. It's not really, but you know, you could certainly, if you have a video of you talking that you want to add as your outro screen, you can simply copy and paste it in here and just say, you know, hey, thanks for watching our channel, like and subscribe. And then these two boxes down here are the next videos you want them to go to. This is your subscribe button, and this is you talking. I mean, you can upload the video right to Canva and add that in there to your end screen, which is kind of cool. I see Mama Z wants to know how to do that. I mean, it's very easy. If you go ahead and record it, and then just upload that clip to Canva so that you just select it here in your uploads under videos. Like this is a video I uploaded for demonstration purposes. It's really loud for me, but I can certainly just drag it in here and have it go, hey, this is Mama Z, and thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe and check out these other videos below. So you have that ability to do that in Canva as well. I see Broussards is in here. Hello, Broussards. Any questions about using video? It's really cool to play with this kind of stuff. You can actually clip video too. I don't really use it that much, but you'd have the ability to kind of trim at the top here how much of that video you actually want to use. So Mama Z says, yes, that would be a very easy way to do that. Yes. Plus you get all the cool aspects of the graphic design and stuff in here too, which I like. Anybody else have any questions about Canva and what we use it for? Now, again, everything for the most part that I've showed you tonight is in the freeware version. The only issue is if you do see these watermarks like this is a paid video. You can still, with the free version, just buy that video. Videos cost about $5 each if you just want to buy that one video. Most likely you guys are going to have your own videos that you want to upload. So you don't have to pay anything for that video. And if there's a graphic that you want to use, that's a paid graphic like this one. Most graphics are like $1. So if you have a photo that you absolutely love, I mean, you can just buy that one photo and it's still, you know, cheap, but you don't have to pay for I pay, I think $19 a month for the pro version of this. These are parts of Canva that I was unaware of. Yeah, there's a whole like spectrum of things that you can do with Canva. This is just, right now we kind of focus on the YouTube version of a lot of these things.
Crystal?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, you kind of introduced a little segue here that I can do a little advertisement for
Sure,
us.
go for it.
Sherry has started a collab for holiday cooking, holiday desserts, holiday whatever.
Yeah.
And I actually made a little intro that anybody is welcome to use if they'd like to. And I'll throw that on the screen here real quick. So this is what it looks like. It's 10 seconds in length. And of course you can cut it down and do whatever you want, but it's small enough I can actually email it to you if you want.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And I have it set
Now,
so it loops. So
is it like, what kind of collaboration is it? Just like desserts or?
Anything
Eh,
holiday food.
any type of holiday food, anything that you want to make in your kitchen. Food, drink, you know, if you've got some special liquor thing that you mix up for the holidays and want to share that. But we've actually created this, I've created this little intro, if you would, and I've used that on hers, and she's got more videos that's going to be coming out here, and we'll be doing it on that. And of course, you know, would love to have everybody enter the collaboration, and she will put that on the, you know, if you let us know, obviously. Well, Bushcraft, I don't know if they can make you a cup of coffee or not, but I did want to share that about the holiday collaboration. And since you just kind of opened up the door there with the intros, and since I had this sitting here, I just wanted to do that. So.
Well, let me see if I can make you a cup of coffee real quick. What kind of coffee do you like? Because here you go. Here's a video of coffee being made. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, if we ever want to tackle something that's not YouTube related, let me know. But I mean, pretty much any social media, and I don't know if you guys can see this when I do this, but if I were to go back and create, I mean, if you want to just look at some of the social media options they have that are already automatically measured out: cover photos, events, shops cover, stories. If you want a specific birthday Facebook post, are they doing TikTok yet? Let's see. Yeah, a TikTok video. If you want to have a template for a TikTok video or background, I mean, they have everything pre-measured out and templates for so many things. If I were to do a TikTok background, I mean, automatically, here's a bunch of templates that you can use for your video. You could make it look like an old, oh, this is cool. I like this. This is like an old, what do you call them? The VHS recorders. So you can edit the text in here and make it look like an old, you know, VHS tape. So they've got templates for everything under the sun. And I mean, just play with it. You're not going to break it. So if you want to make a raffle ticket design, it's got it measured out. A postcard design, it's got them measured out. I recently did some postcard designs for a company. I just used Canva. They had templates available I started with. They measured everything out perfectly. So, I mean, it's extremely flexible outside of YouTube too. Or Christmas raffle tickets. There you go. You could do a homesteading raffle ticket or something. And all of this is editable and even down to the colors. Like these Christmas bulbs, I could make them pink if I wanted, just like that. So I think that's all I got for today. But I mean, again, we can always discuss lots more features outside of YouTube with this as well, because it's my favorite thing. I don't spend a day of my life outside of Canva anymore. So just checking my comments real quick on my TV. I think one thing I would like to talk about some point in the future, Daryl and Sherry, if you guys are interested, is either we could do a mobile Zoom session where I'd show the mobile stuff on Canva. We could do some other social networking stuff like TikToks and things or whatever. I've been doing a lot with TikTok lately. So there's that option. And shorts. Obviously, shorts are doing really well for me right now. Daryl, I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you?
Well, because I had the mic turned down so that you wouldn't
there
get
you
any background sound from here. So anyway, you could, I thought you were just going to read my lips there and understand what I was saying.
I was going to try, but.
But no, Sherry has also said here, as I think probably everybody knows in here, on Thursday, we do a kind of a channel review thing. We kind of take a look at channels and suggest some overall concepts that increase. It will not increase views. It will not do anything like that. It just makes your channel more presentable. It kind of just gives it that extra little nudge. But this Thursday is start of Hanukkah, and so Sherry says, "Hey, Hanukkah, we give things away, right?"
Are you going to give me something? That's so nice, like a cheesecake.
You gotta laugh out of that one.
I heard it.
But apparently, we will be doing some giveaways come Thursday. So tell your friends that this Thursday, 5:00 Eastern time, we'll be getting that ramped up, and that'll be on for a couple hours. Sherry, anything else? Did I do that okay? I do that okay? Do we want to see the intro one more time? We can do that. Here, everybody, do this holiday collaboration thing, something in the kitchen, or making a drink, or whatever you might want to mix up.
I'll do it.
And if you want that intro, you're welcome to it. Just send me an email. I'll mail it to you. It's a very, very short MP4 file. So.
Okay, it's 10 after.
Yep.
Southern Blessed Sun.
Southern Blessed Homestead.
Yeah, they're Tuesday.
Is on. So if you like to go over there, tell them Smudge sent you. Crystal, you got anything else?
I've got tons, but nothing that we could fit within the next couple minutes.
Okay.
We'll have her again out in January.
Well, yeah. We're obviously we're going to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it, and we're gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Special thank you to our moderators. Special thank you to our channel members. If you want to help out Two Family Homestead channel, please consider hitting that join button down there, and we'd love to have you. We've got what's going out for the members this month.
It's a Hanukkah gift.
It's a Hanukkah gift. We can't tell.
Oh,
Something special.
So the members are going to be getting something special in the mail. And if you're looking for T-shirts, mugs, personalized items of some sort, just think about us. We'll talk to you later. Have a great evening.
Absolutely.
Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Take care.